Hi, Sarah here with a layout process video for you today. I'm using my Mind the Scrap April kit for this one, and I'm following the layout you saw at the beginning, which is by Laura Rumble. This is for the Chinese Whispers challenge, where we take either a sketch or a scrap lift and we do a version of it, then we pass it to the next person who does a version, and so on in groups of 4. So if you want to join in the fun with that, then head over to the Mind the Scrap Facebook group and you can find out all the details and have a look at all the layouts that have been made this round and sign up for the next one. So for this layout, I've taken a picture of this little kitty cat, and I am grabbing a load of my papers from the kit that I've got left over, and what I want to do is layer lots and lots of thin layers of paper just peeking out from behind the photograph. This layout is very much not my style. I really enjoyed doing it though. I'm definitely going to try and do more layouts with lots of layering and texture to them, because I really liked how effective it was, and I think that's one of the great things about doing the Chinese Whispers challenge, that you get to try and scrap in another person's style and try out different techniques that you've not really tried too much before. So it just adds to your knowledge, I think, or adds to your options of the way you can scrap. So for this layout, to begin with, I was going to do a white background and some coloured mixed media onto that, but I do change it up to a black background because I feel the papers from the April kit go so well on a black background, and I've done layouts with this kit on black before and I know which spray inks look really nice, so I've got a good idea of what to do with that. So in a bit I do change it up to black instead. I've also picked out from the kit that fabulous word from, I think they're Heidi Swap, and we got these lovely scripty acetate words, so I'm using that. I was going to put fabulous furball, but I do end up omitting the furball and just sticking with fabulous because he has fabulous fur. So here I'm still just layering things up and ripping the edges to create extra texture. I think I come in with some vellum with stars on. I also come in here with some gauze or cheesecloth, depending where you live. I think it's called a different thing, and I'm just sticking that behind there, and then I'll just trim around the edges so that there's fibres just peeking out from behind it. And I'll then also pop my photograph up a little bit with a bit of foam as well. Oh, I also come in, which this is something I've never done on a layout before and I definitely will again, is the thread behind the photo. I have seen it a few times, but I've never done it, and it just seemed like a perfect opportunity because I wanted to, apart from colour schemes and stuff, I wanted to very much scrap lift the texture, and the tiny photo were the things that I really liked about Laura's layout. So here I'm just faffing around with the thread, trying to manipulate it to work for me to go behind, and deciding what I want to do with that. I think I was going to brave a bit of sewing, but I end up just using the thread as is and just popping it behind my photograph. Still going. So next up, I am taking out, these are from my stash, not from the kit. I'm just checking out some words on there, and I think I had one clear sticker word on there. Here you can see I've made the decision to go with the black background, and I'm using my Heidi Swap colour shines in, I think I use mustard, the tealy colour, there's a hot pink, and then a more of a rose pink, and I also use a distress mica spray, which the colour of it is very kind of that copper rose gold kind of colour, which is also in the vellum that I use, the star vellum that I use on my layout. So as you can see, I've added in lots and lots of tiny dots of spray, all a large cluster fading towards the bottom. I'm also lifting up some of that colour because I don't want any of them to be too bold or oily. You get oily residue on them sometimes as well. I wanted it to be quite flat, so I haven't left it so that it's really vibrant. I've sort of muted it slightly like that. So here I'm just going to add a piece of cheap foam. You can just get these from the kiddies section in any craft store and just chop them down instead of using foam dots. I'm just going to stick my photo in place, and I decide where I want my word as well, so I'm going to take my glue dots and add them to it also, and then I believe I'll come in with a few extra embellishments around the edge. So I'm getting out my little dishes, which are like little fish, and they're pointy at the end, so it makes it easy to pour things back into jars again. For this one I'm using my doodle bug sequins because the colours are more sort of primary colours, so they work quite well in very rainbowy layouts rather than the iridescent ones, which I use as well. So I basically just do this all the way across my layout, adding lots and lots of teeny weeny sequins, and then I've added a cute little mint coloured butterfly from my stash. I've also got a little tag there so I can date and put the Kit Kat's name on it, and I've just added more gold thread to attach that tucked behind the photo. And to finish it off, I'm just going to add some tiny gold butterflies just flying up the page. So I just go through with my fine line applicator for sequins and tiny things and just put lots of dots down, then go back through, add them, and then I look through and check that I've not missed any spots, and that's me done. So here's some close-ups. Thanks for joining me today, and join me again for the Chinese Whispers number 2. Bye!